that kind of sets the boundaries. And you got to remember, professional sports gets around the antitrust problem one of two ways generally. They're all monopolies. Baseball gets around it from a 1922 decision from the U.S. Supreme Court in which Oliver Wendell Holmes called it the national pastime and not interstate commerce. In 1937, boxing went to the U.S. Supreme Court and said, well, we've got the antitrust exemption. See? Supreme Court said, no, that's specific to baseball. Now, you've got to realize the Supreme Court doesn't say they're wrong very often. And I'll give you my dynamic for telling you this. It's the story I tell people, but now I really understand it better than anything else. We gave, at NYU at commencement, we gave honorary doctorates to Justice Kennedy, Ann Mulcahy, the CEO of Xerox, and Mikhail Baryshnikov. And there they were all standing on the stage. And I'm kind of looking at it going, Mikhail Baryshnikov makes millions of dollars a year. Ann Mulcahy makes tens of millions of dollars a year as CEO of Xerox. And there's Justice Kennedy, and he makes $200,000 a year, and probably gets driven to work in a Ford Crown Victoria. Now, he's one of the top 9 in his business. He's one of the 9 most distinguished people. So you're going to give the institution, when you have that job and you don't have the $30 million salary or stock options with it, you're going to give that institution great credibility. So the Supreme Court declined to expand antitrust protection to any other sport but baseball, but they've never explicitly taken it away from baseball. In 1970, the Curt Flood case, which is the most famous of sports cases, comes up. And essentially, I've talked with Marvin Miller. He said, Curt Flood, I didn't want Curt to move this case forward. But he did, and he took a great risk. And he said that every player should thank Curt Flood. Players got free agency ultimately as an outcome of the Curt Flood situation. But players got it through using the labor law. And in pro sports, it's the labor law that gives most of the leagues their greatest benefit in addition to their greatest detriment. In pro sports, there is an exemption under the labor law for things that are collectively bargained for. It's called the statutory labor exemption. That gives anything that a sports league and its union bargains for immunization. Maurice Clarett shows up a couple of years ago saying, I'm a great running back. But I may not be for a couple of years longer because I can't seem to keep like stereos out of the back of my car. And I'm getting fatter. A problem I can relate to. I better go now because I'm just not getting any thinner. I'm going to be a bad offensive guard in a year or two if I don't get in the NFL and make some money. The NFL goes, no, you have to be 3 years out of high school to be in the NFL. We have this wonderful rule that encourages people to go to college and get the most of their meaningful college experience. Right? You're with me on that one. Yeah, no, of course not. So Clarett sues, and I literally sat in a meeting with the other NFL agents when they said it, and the head of the NFL Players Association said, oh no, we agree, we think the NFL will win in this case. And 900 lawyers just went, you're on drugs. You are a monopoly. There is no way you can win because this is clearly an exclusion of a qualified member from a monopoly based on no articulable or rational criteria. And that's what the district court said in the Clarett case. It said this is a monopoly. You have no basis of excluding an otherwise qualified